Hello, welcome to hikearizona.com. We're going to talk about uploading a GPS route. So you're going to go to Post, Route, and it tells you the formats available over here on the left. So we will browse our hard drive. We will select a GPS route. We'll upload it using the standard settings. Generally works best. You can play around with it if you like. There's really not much to worry about it because for instance, this right here, it hasn't been posted yet. Until we post the data, it is not live. So we could continue uploading other things and working with it. This route appears to be pretty good. You can tell that it doesn't have any major jumps in it. It looks like we hiked up there and we hiked all the way back. Scrolling down just a bit, we have our elevation profile, and it looks fluid throughout. There's no big spikes or anything. So it looks pretty good. And the mileage is listed. That's always a good indication that the mileage is listed. So we could go ahead and post this hike for Boynton. It's generally easiest if you type it. And Boynton's backyard, we'd select that, and we could type in some optional notes and post it. Now let's say that it wasn't listed on site. You could do a generic name. I would strongly suggest posting the hike first though. It's pretty simple. It only takes about 1 minute. All you're entering when posting a hike is the hike name and the GPS coordinates, unless you want to enter a description, which, yeah, that could take a couple hours. But just to add a hike to Hike Arizona is really simple. And if you're posting a route, you should know the GPS coordinates for the trailhead, right? Right. All right. Well, let's say that everything isn't quite so good. Towards the bottom of the page, we have some tools to help you work with your GPS route. You could reverse the route if it was backwards, pretty common. You could delete over or under a certain amount of feet. A popular thing here would be, let's say you're in Phoenix and you have a waypoint at your house because you were playing with your GPS at home. That would post a waypoint at about 1,000 feet. So you could delete on this one. Looks like everything's above 4,500, so we'd be really safe in deleting under 4,000 feet, for instance. That'll cure a lot of problems. The rest of it deals with what's called point data. So we load the point data for reference. What this is your GPS route point by point. Scrolling through this one, we have about 1,000 points of data, and I don't see any red highlights. Red highlights would indicate on elevation if there's a jump in about 250 feet. That means there's probably something wrong. And on the latitude, longitude, if it jumps over a little over half mile, I think it's set at about 3/4 of a mile, you'll get a red block that lets you know that there's some issues. So it makes scrolling through thousands of points of data much easier. You can see your data up on the map if you click the point, and there she is up there. Let's click one that's kind of nearby so you can see it populate. Boom! There she goes. And it helps if you say boom, because it just makes the whole experience so much better. I'm just kidding with you. So there's a couple other things you can do with your point data. Let's today take a look down here at flip section. Let's say that there was a section in here that you determined you needed to flip. And let's say it is, for instance, 200 to 400. So we will go ahead and flip the section. And since we're right by the server here, about 5 feet away, it's pretty fast. And you can see that now it's messed up the route. We can flip it right back. No problem. And it should put it right back in line, which it does. There's one more feature I want to talk about. It's called Scrunch Route. If you click on the information icon, it'll tell you more about it. Generally, the two things with it are if the mileage doesn't show, you probably have overlapping points of data. Scrunching the route will get rid of those. Also, if you had thousands, like 2,000 to 5,000 points of data, sometimes you need to scrunch the route, and it talks more about it under the information button. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions on posting a route or anything else, feel free to send a private message to Joe Bartels. That's me. I'm the webmaster. Hike Arizona is a member-driven site. We rely